There's also going to be a need to be an effort because 2 years from now, we're going to be having the same tax conversation. And we need to make sure that we are defending programs like the Earned Income Tax Credit, Child Tax Credit, and making the case in our communities that these are helping people, creating jobs, making work pay, and putting, as Deborah said and Nancy said, faces on these statistics so that it's not about sort of just one number, but about a family. So we need you, not just tonight to make this ask on the Earned Income Tax Credit and the Child Tax Credit. We need you to help us cultivate strong champions for a national effort to significantly reduce poverty as we recover from the Great Recession. Something that a lot of people don't know is that during the last economic recovery, income went down for the middle class and poverty went up. This is during economic recovery. Between 2003 and 2007, we had an economic recovery where poverty went up. We cannot allow that to happen as we recover from the Great Recession. And that's part of why we're building a national movement to cut poverty in half in 10 years. We need you to write a letter to your member of Congress and urge them to support half in 10, to say, I pledge to support a national goal to cut poverty in half in 10 years. We can go to the next slide. We need to do this because goals break down silos across various agencies working to accomplish a common objective. They promote accountability, and they make sure that when members of Congress are looking at legislation, they have to take into account whether or not it's going to impact those numbers. You can go to the next slide. So the overarching ask, urge your federal elected officials to support a goal to cut poverty in half in 10 years and to support policies to help us to achieve it. Specifically with tonight, ask them to support the 2009 EITC and child tax credit reforms. All my information is there for follow-up. There is a live letter on our website right now, www.halfin10.org. For those of you who are on email, you can just click, and there's a letter that appears that you can edit and put in your own words. For those of you here tonight, I hope that you'll take this action step, and thank you again for hosting me.
Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Melissa. And for our third part of the action for this evening, it is artistic in nature. And it involves the colored squares that are somewhere on your table. Please take a look at those colored squares right now. And I'm inviting Chuck Hoffman, artist and designer. If you haven't seen his work in the art gallery, please be sure to look at it as well as the other art. Chuck, come tell us what to do with the artistic expression.
Great, thanks, Nancy. First, though, I would like to start with a personal story. In 1990, I found my life on a very rough and uncertain road. And if not for my family, faith, and my art, and a generous offer from an elderly widow to sleep on a couch in her basement, I would have been on the street. Poverty and despair can touch any of us. And if it were not for the help of others, I may never have gotten back on my feet. So I am forever, I am forever grateful to those that reached out to me and find this opportunity tonight to offer something back. So as an artist, I believe that creativity through the arts offers us an opportunity for transformation, both personally and as a community. Art can show us both beauty and it can illuminate the darker side of our life. When our creativity is awakened, however, within us and shared, it can shine out into the world and in that creative process make something new, transforming both self and community around us. The arts have the power to transform our mechanical minds and give us a new language that meets the needs of our soul. When we hear a series of musical notes or lyrics, we can be transported through time, or when we stand in front of a work of art, we may find it reaching a place in us where words may not be able to go, perhaps a divine place. Music, drama, the literary and visual arts have a strong place in the culture of Minnesota, just that they have been part of our gathering here tonight to evoke something in us. So now, I am going to ask you to be part of this creative process. And as an individual and as a community, the poor may feel invisible to the rest of the world, so with our stories and art tonight, we will make visible the invisible. So in front of you, on your tables, are squares of paper and markers. Why don't you find those? Because we're gonna make something tonight. What I'd like you to do is on one side, select a color, and on one side, with either words or a symbol, express your own story of enough. Okay, so on one side, your own story of enough. And on the other side of the square, your commitment and what you will do to ensure enough for all. Okay? This can be done with words or symbols, and I've got a couple examples up on the screen. And I ask you that in the act of drawing or writing, reflect on a person, someone that you know who has suffered under poverty. I want you to see their face, and I want you to feel the emotion. Or perhaps it's your own lament over poverty if you have been touched by it personally. So reflect on it while you are working, okay? You can create more than one if you like, and that would be great if you did. And if you're comfortable, share your stories of enough and commitment with your tables and the people that are around you. When we are finished, we'll collect the squares from around the state, and they will be stitched together. Our art will be displayed at a variety of locations to make visible the faces of poverty and symbolize our commitment to help transform the lives of our neighbors. And this is what it could look like. And there's a few examples that are strung along the sides of the room, too. And the square, by the way, is an archetypal shape, and its form has appeared in the art of all cultures throughout time. And the square symbolizes stability, solidity, security, and permanence. So working with the square indicates your readiness to build, to implement a plan, and to manifest your ideas. In many traditions, the square was an emblem of the perfect city built for eternity. So I invite you to take this time to reflect, create, and act. And I would like to close with a quote that I find inspiring personally as an artist. It's from the artist Marc Chagall. If I create from the heart, nearly everything works. If from the head, almost nothing. So I thank you. May your work be blessed, and enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you, Chuck. Now, I would like to ask John Hottinger and Mark Rogaszewski, would you please come to the stage? And Mark will speak first.
Thanks, Nancy. Thanks very much. John, for your leadership, innovation, and perseverance toward ending poverty in Minnesota, we would like to present you with this expression of our appreciation. You know, through your foresight and commitment, the Legislative Commission to End Poverty was created. Please, on the behalf of the Board of Minnesota Without Poverty and the citizens of this state, please accept our small token of our appreciation for your service throughout Minnesota. Thanks very much.
I'm over to now. I'm supposed to talk?
Yeah, now he has to talk.